Hello everybody, and this is going to be like a week 2 quiz, kind of talking about the first week, doing a little summarizing and such. Alright, so let's start off with how good job everybody's doing. I'm really proud of you. In case you've noticed, my method of grading very often is to kind of make sure that you're watching the videos, and I don't necessarily put trick questions in there, but it's usually a little something to see that you watched it. Okay. My first priority is that you gain knowledge and a little bit of insight, and sociology is rife with that. So that's kind of how I approach the class and grading and stuff. Right. Okay. I am 40. All right. A lot of you guys thought I was younger. Thank you. Okay. Cedar is indeed a German name. Um, Ethnicity, that's a tricky question. Okay. When we get to that unit a little later in the semester, you're going to see it's a social construct, one of the things that we're learning about. Um, Reggae, which I don't think anybody guessed is my favorite genre. There was a whole lot of country. Okay, there were some other interesting guesses. I don't know if I look country or whatever, but reggae is like my favorite genre. I go to a lot of reggae shows, and there's actually one coming in a few weeks right here in Tempe, which is where I'm from. Hobbies, cooking. There's my knives. Okay, can't really see the spice collection over there. Um, there's even I have an Instagram account, okay, with my name on it. You see some stuff that I do there. All right, very proud of that. I just got tattoos as I turned 40. I've got 2, and I'm looking at another one in the next couple weeks. So I guess they're kind of addictive. I went to Lehigh University, which is in Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from. Okay, and I got a master's in sociology, bachelor's in journalism. So, and I liked everybody's predictions about the course. That made me feel really good, and I think you guys were all right. So nice work on that. Okay, so 30 days video. I hope you found that interesting as well. That was about a relevant topic, even though that was filmed quite a while ago. Okay, I think it was 2006 that came out, but it's kind of still going on. Very often we don't. Well, they call it kick the can down the road. You know, you don't solve problems. You just kind of leave them for other people. So, fortunately, we have a bad habit of doing that all too often. Frank George did not reform. Okay, well, he did not change his perspective. It seems like reform is a loaded word, as he still runs a podcast, okay, aimed at getting immigrants out of the country. Although he doesn't actually work on the border, if you found that, you could find his podcast. I've never listened to it. I think it's like 2 hours long. Thank you. No, thank you. Armida, hopefully you saw that she's doing well, and she's a teacher. Okay, so I kind of like following up on these stories. So very often, especially with reality television, it's like loaded to have you watch, and you can't always necessarily trust what you're seeing. All right, but I do show that because I think it does give a good and interesting perspective, and kind of like an inside look on the family. You know, so that's why we show that. As far as some of the other things that we've covered, okay, the free will question, okay, some of you guys put a lot of effort into that answer, and I'm very, very proud of you. Okay, look cool that you guys like really tried. Some of you guys phoned it in, and you know, of course, I can tell the difference. All right, been doing this a while. Ooh, that's actually another question. I've been doing this 10 years, 11 years now. Okay, so this is I've been teaching for quite a while. I can obviously tell the students that are trying and want to succeed, and they will carry that after this class. Okay, regardless of what I do, which isn't even a word. Regardless of what we do, don't ever say that with the I at the end, at the beginning. Nasty habit. All right, so what do we got here? Yeah, some of you guys said that there were bad people everywhere, which I guess is technically true if we're talking about free will and criminalization, okay, and incarceration. But that didn't really answer the question of why Americans have so many prisoners. Some of you actually did a decent job of looking up drug offenses as one of the #1 issues. Okay, our strict drug policy, mandatory sentencing, these types of things. You did do a very good job about that, finding that information. But for many of you, there was a lot of contradictions in your answers, and I hopefully, upon reflection, you might see that. Because you say, well, America has tons of freedom, and we have all this freedom, and then the very next sentence you say something like, well, it's our strict laws that put us in. Well, that's the opposite of a whole lot of freedom, which is kind of interesting. Side note, your code number is 7. All right, so just so you know, 7. Okay, so there was those contradictions, and it's something to think about. Also, some of you said that there was bad people everywhere. Okay, well, that then if that were the case, countries like Canada, okay, countries in Scandinavia, Europe would have just as high prison populations as we do. The answer to a lot of these questions that's I don't see too many people mention was a little something called culture. Okay, and culture is something we're going to be looking into. This is quite interesting. It's one of the fun building blocks of sociology. Okay, so keep that in mind, is that there is this concept of culture that some people, when they have a particular stimuli, may say, oh, well, I'll behave this way or react this way. Others may say in a totally different way. Okay, so when confronted with confrontation, some people may say, well, I don't understand. Why are you confronting me? That's bizarre. Others may feel that they need to now fight about that. Okay, how dare you confront me? Okay, I'm confronting you right back. A lot of this can come from personality, okay, but a lot of this can come from culture, okay. Some cultures would be a little more confused about that, and other cultures would be quite familiar with confrontation, all right. And that is all learned, basically, what they call in psychology, they call that environment, okay. In sociology, we usually refer to that as culture, all right. So that's a concept going forward. Other than that, I don't think that there's too much here for me to mention about all the vocabulary. Hopefully you're keeping up. Hopefully it's not too dry. Okay. But there's going to be some of that because we do need a building block as we watch the videos and have the discussions going forward on the vocabulary. And please keep in mind that the midterm and the final are both cumulative. You may use your notes. Okay. So as you watch these videos, please take notes on all that information so that you have it at the ready when those things come up. Otherwise, okay, great guys, and I'll talk to you soon.